Hello and welcome everyone, this is Blackadder at the RTS League channel, and well, we are joining for at least the second game between the Jedi Masters Z and their opponents today, LeO. The first game is already finished, we haven't been really able to catch up with them for that game, and that was played on Nomad, home map of the Jedi Masters Z, and they have won like 40 minutes or something like that, so pretty decent battle obviously. And in here, the second game, the home map of LeO is going to be Arena, which is a very favorite map for them quite of late. And looking at the civilizations, we are seeing pretty interesting maps. That's Turks, Mayans, Aztecs and Teutons for LeO. Definitely interesting civilizations all around, with Aztecs and Mayans being pretty much the okayish and standard ones, whereas on the other side, for the Jedi Masters, we have Persians, Spanish, Mongols and Mayans. That's a bit more usual. So we could be expecting some special strategy for the Jedi pretty soon. So far, looking how everybody's advancing into the feudal age at the 10 minutes in here. Yeah, seen a pretty interesting map, to be honest. A lot of players having a kind of limited spots how to get inside and outside of their bases, so this is definitely pretty nice for Influenzino. But at the same time, if he is finding himself under some pretty heavy pressure a bit later on, he has literally nowhere to run. You can see this is just literally this spot where he can move away and inside, so that's not really ideal if he happens to be under some kind of pressure. So let's see if that's going to be happening. And since he is on the flank going to be facing Salad Escape in here, that is really quite problematic and potentially quite risky proposition for the Jedi Master Z. On the other side, we see basically the similar stuff for Robo, aka Robo Hippoboro. Basically, literally the same. Nicely hidden relic in here, bit behind the gate in here, but otherwise, really not much space for any proper room at the back, which is yet again quite problematic for his game, even in the castle age, so definitely not something that he would be all that happy about. From LeO's, the only one who is having some kind of problematic build-up is going to be High Tower, with pretty much the similar stuff as on the other corner, Influenzino. Yeah, that's also pretty problematic for him in here, as he's going for the market and for the blacksmith, of course, as he's going to be advancing into the castle age, as pretty much everybody. But I'm just expecting that one of them is not going to be High Tower. That's pretty lucky for LeO's that he's on the flank, because he's definitely going to be slung as a Turk and going to be facing against Mongols, who are still in the Dark Age, just now advancing into feudal. And that's not really a bad play, because they are going to be putting out one pretty strong player who will be having quite big problems running away, and this could really work quite nicely for the LeO team. So let's see how well they are going to do in that. I would be fully expecting that Dagobert is going to be slinging as Mayans in here. The Aztec player quite probably as well. He's going for a market right about now. Otherwise, pretty much standard build-up for him. The double bit axe and horse collar. Yeah, and this is basically telling us that he's not advancing into castle, and he's going to be slinging. So it's actually him slinging, and Dagobert is going to be advancing into the next age. Well, this is of course going to be quite different from the LeO's games that we have seen a bit earlier in the season, because this is basically the first 4v4. We have only seen them play in 3v3, so yeah, let's see how the strategy that they have actually worked out and is working so far quite well for them is going to be working. But, well, I'm fully expecting that really the spawn of the Turk on the right flank against the Mongol is definitely lucky, especially looking at how the base looks for the Hippoboro in here. That he will be quite happy about it and should be killing him very, very easily. So it's going to be up to Gracie if she will be able to somehow help her teammate, but I'm fully expecting that Gracie is going to be slinging as well. She is Spanish, so that is something that Spanish players do, and you can see that she is also not advancing into castle age, so yeah, that is definitely what's going to be happening in here. Sling from Gracie and sling from the blue player. Let's just switch into achievements and confirm exactly that. Yes, iFly is actually also slinging into High Tower. Gracie is slinging into Hippoboro so far. But that's about it. And Sunfly, yeah, there's the blue player. Okay, so it's exactly as we were talking about it a bit earlier. So, yep, exactly as we are expecting that is going to be happening on this map. Quite a decent amount of extra stone behind the base right now for Sci-Fi. Could help quite nicely, for example, in slinging into the Mayan for some castles, because really, there's no need for stone for the Turkish player, as he's going to be needing exactly just the siege workshop and the monastery for the relics. And on top of that, of course, they are going to be archer ranges for some extra hand cannoneers to support the heavy gunpowder army. So second and third TCs for Salad Escape, who is going to be playing pretty much the standard game as Teuton against his opponent, and we can see that Influenzio is really paying quite a lot of attention, trying to see what's going to happen, and if he should be worried or if he is pretty much fine in the game that he is so far playing. Second DC, third just now finished, so 3 DC boom right here. Castle being built by the Mayans Pucino, with Imperial Age already clicked in for Hightower, of course, and that's 1 DC so far. Second being built, third should probably coming up somewhere around the woodline, I would be expecting, but so far just 2 DCs and a castle, so that's going to be a support to his teammate on the right, because I would be fully expecting that he will be needing quite a lot of help against all those hand cannoneers that are going to be coming his way pretty soon. So that's one siege workshop being built here with another archer range. So right about now, Hippoboro is going to be seeing exactly that this is what's going to happen. As he's having a bit of fun with the Wolfie in here. And otherwise, we don't really see all that much of a happening, just a bit of a scouting in here, as Orange, together with Yellow, are having a bit of fun in here. And of course, the same is true for the Blue and the Grey one as well. So yeah, that's a lot of LeO's scouts arriving on the battle scene on the right side. Right now, of course, Hippoboro is exactly discovering what is going to happen in here. Hippoboro, that's what I wanted to see. Yeah, he sees absolutely everything in here, as he's also being slugged by Gracie, so let's see if he's going to be a bit more effective than his opponent, Hightower. Hightower is already almost into the Imperial Age. He's going to be prepared quite nicely, with everything chain barred armor going for Hippoboro, so that he has some extra armor against all those hand cannoneers. Wheelbarrow coming for Salad Escape, going for some extra support in the economy, but that's so far pretty much it, and we don't see anything extra being played in here. Red should be really careful, because he needs to finish with the ball. Yeah, he has just deleted it. Fortunately for him, this very strong and early attack from Hippoboro is putting him slightly out of position. But with the Imperial Age just now clicking in, he's going to be retreating away, especially because of the very nice conversion and reaction, because of the monastery being ready exactly to help against all those knights. This goal placement is of course pretty sucky for the red player, even though I don't really think that he should be minding all that much. He should be the one advancing into offensive quite soon, which should mean that he should be somehow enlarging the walls or expanding the walls and also capturing this goal. But let's see how it's going to work for him right about now. The house is still having quite a decent amount of hit points, and with the monks getting high in numbers, now converting yet another one, it's not going to be all that easy for the teal player, even with the villager going forward. So what's going to be the plan in here? What's going to be the plan with the villager? Siege workshop drop? Yeah, that's probably not going to work all that much. Even though we still don't see, at least in here, the monk. Not really seeing any bombard cannons yet, and this is very interesting, because we have seen Pucino put up the castle very soon, and he's already moving forward, and together with Petard, so they are going to be attempting to basically kill Red before he can be any kind of significant threat. So let's see if he can succeed in this. That's pretty daring and interesting. So let's see. I'm fully expecting that Siege Workshop is coming down for some rams. And it's actually for Mangono, so he's going to be trying to pick off both the monks and, of course, also going to be helping Riken fight against the hand cannoneers. But with the pretty high range of the bombard cannons, that's not going to be easy at all. So let's see how this is going to work out. Otherwise, not much happening elsewhere on the map. Orange player is having 3 TCs and quite nicely booming. Green is probably doing the same. Yeah, still 3 TCs and booming. Going for gold mine and iron casting. And some extra upgrades coming in with LeO. Salad Escape also going for Imperial Age as the first player in here, and that's unfortunate for Red. Yeah, that's not going to be all that easy for you. Need to be careful in here, and attempting at least a few headshots with the bombard cannon is most definitely going to help. He right now needs to be careful about the Mangonel, because that's definitely something he's not going to be counting with. And the amount of knights is pretty scary right about now. But here we go, with the conversions. And they should be helping quite nicely, because this is a very nice reaction by Red, who has been expecting exactly this amount of knights, but he needs to be careful with the hand cannoneers. Otherwise he's going to end pretty badly. even though the conversions of the knights were quite helpful, because you can see that the numbers are dwindling quite strongly, and even though the red player has been forced to switch into cavalry archers, it's still pretty nicely going for him, and if he can pull off some good shots. Oh, careful, careful with the bombard cannon. That's a lot of resources basically wasted, unfortunately. And with proper micro. Oh, this is absolutely horrible. No, 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 no. Ah, yellow should have actually stayed in the gate in there and let all those knights through, because if he did, well, that would be total slaughter, but it's going to be happening at the same time also. Nicely played with the petards in here. So far, not anything else happening on the map. So this is basically the only battlefield, and this is so far very nice reaction by the Jedi Master Z, and it seems like that the magic of LeO's special strategy is going to be countered quite strongly indeed in here. Even though the Imperial Age from Salad Escape is quite definitely threatening. But Red is in pretty deep trouble in just about now. You can see that he is having the resources, but he's not having the military buildings really. And unfortunately, oh, he didn't. Nice attempt. Nice attempt to stop the maneuvering of all the cavalry, and right now he is in pretty big troubles. Pretty big troubles, because obviously he has everything open in here. He needs to retreat behind. He does have at least a bit of a gold in here, but still he's going to be quite heavily raided, and the game is not going to be ending, rather going to be all that easy for him in the moments right about now. Imperial Age from full influencing as well, with Forging and Halberdiers coming for Salad Escape, as Teutons of course. And yep, Influence New is expecting exactly that, so they are going to be helping, or rather he's going to be needing a bit of help from Puccinho in those plumed archers, because yeah, without those, the Halberdiers could be a pretty big problem for the green player, who is Prussian, so he's going to be switching into Paladins, Paladins pretty soon. Dagobert also into Imperial Age, as Red's base is getting quite heavily hammered. And looking somewhere else right about now, how's it looking for Orange? He's really preparing with the Halberdiers and some Mangonels. And how's it looking for Green, who is finally, or rather finally, just about now finishing with everything inside his base with all the free space. And he's going to be in a bit of a problem, as he's going to be forced to expand a bit. You can see that Yellow has already expanded outside of his walls, so he potentially is quite fully raidable. Expecting there should be a way through somewhere around here. Maybe not, but not exactly sure. But with the green being readied with the stables, yeah, that's going to be Paladins pretty soon indeed. Yep, yellow player just now discovering that it's exactly going to be Halberdiers in here, with Onagers and Chemistry coming for Salad Escape as well. As in the red's base, the game is definitely not going all that well for LeOs as they were hoping, and Puccinho is also getting Imperial Age with quite a lot of resources into upgrades being trickled in. Cavaliers for Influencing, of course, Husbandry and Bloodlines. With LeO. He's probably thinking that he might be under attack soon, or he wants to expand a bit outside of his gates with some castles or something. Not exactly sure, but yeah. He thought that it's going to be wise to spend Loom at least right about now. So let's not doubt that kind of decision. It really seems like that Red is basically dead just about now. He's not going to be able to escape from this position. Exactly what was the problem that we were talking about at the very start of the game. That could be a problem for Influenzinho, but also for Hippoboro, and unfortunately also for LeO Hightower, who didn't really count with this eventuality that he's going to be under so heavy pressure, as he's dropped to 25 police and going to be basically killed altogether. Well, it's going to be ending as basically 3v4 for the LeOs, so let's see how they are going to be able to deal with that. Orange is already going into a bit of an offensive with the Onagers and the Cavaliers, or rather the Halberdiers, as he's going to be facing Cavaliers pretty soon. Green moving outside of his gates. Yeah, gotta be a bit more careful about it. And looking at the villages, for example, we are seeing Influencing at 125, so that's going to be a pretty strong economy for him to support all the Paladins as they are being clicked in. And I fully expect that he should be more than capable of handling his opponent's Salad Escape, especially with a bit of help from Puccinho, who is in Imperial Age and not really needed in the battlefield on the right side. What is though interesting to notice is that the advanced player into Imperial Age, the grey one, is also quite nicely ready. Right now Mayan with all the plumed archers, and is going to be attempting to join into the battlefield and basically secure the base of his ally and help him maybe even survive. He's dropped to just 16. And he needs to do all he can to survive with at least those villages, because if he doesn't, he really is not going to be helping his allies at all. Siege Onager for Slide Escape. And we see some barracks and castles during being dropped, so that's going to be a combination of Bloom Touches with Halberdiers I would be fully expecting for the Grey player, and let's see if he's going to be strong enough to deal with just the Teal player, and I'm kinda thinking that he might be. As on the left, it's going to be pretty much a battle between yellow, green and orange I would be expecting. Also blue is right now switching into the next Aegis, as he's already in castle, and hoping that he can help a bit. And Influenzio just now saying that he's going to be prepared quite nicely, of course, once he has the Paladins, which is going to be in just about half of a minute or a minute, and he's going to be quite nicely ready with the support from his ally. And is his ally actually having some kind of army? So far not, just really those two flanks, which is pretty much it, but it could be pretty strong if Orange manages to somehow mismanage his army, which definitely could happen if he leaves the Onages at the back and goes with the Halberdiers through bottom, so that could definitely be a pretty big threat to what is going to happen in here. So this is going to be an important encounter very soon. Paladins coming in, fully upgraded. Almost, they are just missing the upgrades into attack. With the Blast Furnace of course coming in. This is going to be all about if we can protect the Onages, get some good shots, and with the Halberdiers being in pretty decent numbers, but the Paladins in even bigger ones, I'm fully expecting this is going to be pretty much an ownage by the Jedi Master Z and LeO. Yeah, Slide Escape should be pretty much hammered in here. It definitely is, as the strength of the Halberdiers is not really all that great, and if you cannot supply them strong enough, or rather fast enough into the battlefield yet again, it's not going to be all that easy. Yellow is also doing a pretty good job defending against the Onages, even though you can see that here there was at least one good shot. But that's pretty much it for this forward base, and right now he is going to be the one to be under pressure. Castle Age coming for Gracie. And Imperial Age for Hippoboro, of course, so let's see if Orange is going to be ready for a bit of a defense, as that's definitely something that he will be needed to do, and there's... oh my... There's going to be a lot of fighting going on around Orange's base, and with all the knights coming in, oh my, I'm not exactly sure if Blue is ready for that kind of help. I don't really think that he is. Sci-Fi is now at 72 villages, with Red trying to rebuild in here, so it seems like that he's somehow finally rescued by the Grey player, but Grey player is of course going to be facing a quite tough opponent, and that's basically Slang Mongol, who is already having quite nice economy, 95 villages. Dagobert is having better, but still pretty decent, and with a pretty big army right now of Hippoporo knocking on the doors of the blue player and getting into the gold economy of the grey one, well, this might be a bit of a problem for LeOs, and something that they did not really count with when the game started. Right now we can see that unfortunately the Orange player is losing quite a lot of resources in the Siege Onages in here, as he's trying to breach the walls, and it's not really something that he shouldn't be doing in just a moment. Yeah, trebuchets coming in, maybe even some petards going to be employed by the yellow player, but maybe not even needed all that much, because you can see that the gate is almost down, and once it is, it's going to be basically free raiding for both the Paladins, and of course also the Bloomed Ashes from the yellow player. Cavaliers and Blast Furnace coming in for Hippoboro. As Orange is right now concentrating on a bit of a defense, but look at how the blue player is right now breached, and there is, right here, there is a way through. Oh, not fully. Finally, blue actually noticed at the last moment, but it's not really going to matter all that much because the houses don't really have all that many hit points, and once blue is broken through, he's not going to be helping at all. And even though he is not really helping right about now, he is still a player to be reckoned with for the teal player, and once that is not happening, well, you can fully expect that he's going to be joining either on the left or just fully into the right side, and going to be hoping that he can stop any kind of attempt at an assault by the grey player, who is already moving with all the Halberdiers for a bit of help. At the top you can also see that Gracie, advancing into Castle Age, is hoping to go a bit forward, at least with the economy, with Hippoboro already having some good eyes. So far just now kinda helping defend, as Red player is going to be a bit more rebuilding, as he is back at 21 villages, but with a pretty big army of both Influenzino and the yellow player. Well, the tough moments coming in for the orange player and LeO's overall, because you can also see that in blue's base there's a whole lot of deal as he has killed the town center in here. Even though blue still has something extra, he's going to be losing quite a lot of economy, and not even all those halberdiers are going to be really preventing all that much of that. They are going to be killing the army from Hippoboro quite assuredly, but it's not something that he would mind all that much, because he is already switching into all the Mangu dice, and that's he basically needs all the population limit for those, and once he has that, he's going to be advancing into the full-on offensive onto the great player, who is so far engaged in helping his blue teammate. In the meantime, in the orange's base, the green player is having basically free reign of all the economy to rate in here. So he's doing exactly that, dropping Salad Escape to just 67 villages right about now, and even though he's doing all he can to put up a castle for maybe even Teutonic Knights, or just for some proper defense, he's definitely not doing well enough, as he's losing all the barracks that are producing potential counter armies to all those horses. And here we see the GGs, and very nicely played by the Jedi Master Z, and they are securing the match 2-0 against LeO's in here, putting them in a pretty good position to advance from maybe even the first place into the playoffs that are coming in just 2 weeks time. So nicely played in here. Even though Orange was trying to help blue teammate in here as well, it wasn't really all that quick. Blue is already dead, Orange is basically dead as well, and on the right side, Grey is wanted to have a bit of a game with the Grey player in here, or rather with the yellow player, a bit of a 1v1. And Influenzio has to go, so he's going to be quitting, but it seems like that, yeah, stream has ended, which means. And unfortunately, the host of the room was probably Influenzio, so he has left. And there was still like a minute and a half of the game left, but you can kind of guess that there wasn't anything all that interesting for us to see. The game was already quite nicely decided. But this was really nicely played from the Jedi Masters, that they knew exactly what their opponents are going to do, and not even the strong sling into LeO High Tower was good enough. Through the sling into Hippoboro, a lot of knights from him, and the help with Puccino with all the plumed archers was exactly enough to counter the strategy by LeO's. Nicely played. Nicely played. And that also resulted in the fact that Salad Escape couldn't even unleash his full strength against Influenzino, as he was already doubled when he was attacking. Well then, let's have a look at the post game, where Influenzino is going to be the MVP. He was playing quite nicely just by himself without any kind of sling. Yeah, nicely played as the Persians in here, but otherwise a lot of slinging going on from Sci-Fly into High Tower, into Dagobert, and into Salad Escape in the end. They have switched basically from High Tower when they saw that he has been basically discovered what he's going to be doing. And then there was also a lot of slinging from Gracie into Hippoboro, and also a bit to whom? Into Influenzio. So he did in the end get a bit of help in the economy. Pretty decent advances in here. Not bad at all. Well then, GG. And since the first game